Do you know how it feels to be on the receiving end of corrections? I do. There was a time when I was proud to be really good at corrections and really good at timing and use the balance method because it sounds so nice and corrections are just necessary, right? Figuring out that this is not true can trigger so much guilt and shame, and it did for me. So today I'm gonna take you on a little journey and tell you a little story about why I chose to become a force-free dog trainer. So when I was little, I started out training horses, and I was really into horses. And I worked with the balance, natural, whatever horse thing because I wanted to be natural with my horses, right? I wanted to really connect with the animals and talk their language because that's how they market their things, right? The balance trainers, they said that we are just acting like horses and that's nice for the horse, right? And my gut, even back then, already screamed because it told me that this is not the way to go. It's not nice for the horse. And I wasn't really into learning about body language, right? Because that approach doesn't require learning about body language. It doesn't require learning about how the animal feels, right? So I didn't bother either. This was not something I was told as a kid. I was not taught how animals feel, how we can change that, how our actions affect the animal's emotions, and so on. All I was told is to be more assertive, to be more strict, to make the horse submit to me and to do what I want, but in a very harsh way. So from a very early age on, whenever I didn't want to do what the riding instructor, the teacher told me, and they told me things like, hit her already, and things like that. And I didn't want to do that. They laughed at me. They shamed me. They shunned me. For a little kid, this is something that hurts a lot, especially coming from adults, right? So I always thought there was something wrong with me and I had to change. And I did. I became this assertive, dominant, whatever, and I was good at corrections. I was really good at it. But let me tell you this. If you're good at corrections and timing, you're also good at rewarding and that timing. And there was a time when a friend of mine started clicker training, and I was laughing at that, right? Because that was not real training. That was not struggling and fighting with the horse and doing all the things. But she was onto something. I couldn't see that because everybody around me told me that this is not the way to go. This is not how you deal with animals. So when I got my first dog, I tried all the things, right? I tried all the things the balance dog trainers do. And again, I knew I was good at corrections. So I did that. But somehow didn't really click. So I went to train her, and she was a positive trainer. And she really called my bullshit. She called all my bullshit. And I was so mad. Going out of that session, all the guilt and all the shame I felt for how I had treated animals before came back, and it channeled into anger at this woman. But I also knew that she was a professional. And I also knew deep down that I didn't want to do all the correcting things and all the dominance things. And if there was a better way, I was open to exploring that, even if I didn't believe in it. So I started reading things. I started reading articles. I started reading papers. I started reading books, watching videos. And that's when I discovered this whole other way. And this is not something new. Has been around forever, right? So when I figured out that this was another way and I could actually work with my dog in a friendly way and actually not see all the signs of discomfort in my dog and all the signs of distrust and breaking trust in my dog's eyes every single time I did something, it opened up completely new possibilities. And feeling this good about working with my dog completely transformed how I saw dog training. I got into body language. I even started studying biology at the university, and then I took psychology courses too, because I was just interested in behavior and all the things. And yes, I discovered my love for fear, reactivity, aggression, because I now knew that all these things didn't require being assertive, dominant, and a real jackass to my dog. My dog and every dog that has come through my household brought with them some kind of reactivity issue, fear issue, aggression issue. We had it all. So I love working with that. And I love seeing the transformation in that as well with my own dogs as well as with my clients' dogs. It's such a great way to work with animals. And having been at the receiving end of corrections, and I always wished there was a time in my life when I wished someone would come in and tell a specific person in my life to stop with what I now know was abuse. Nobody came to save me. And if that person who did that to me, I'm now fine with that person. But if that person had stumbled across a psychology seminar that taught her that dealing with a child doesn't have to be with force, doesn't have to be with physically going against the child or emotionally going against the child. It's the same thing for our dogs. We are just learning that. And if we cannot put our guilt and shame aside and accept that we screwed up, but we can make it better. If we don't accept that and if we run from those feelings, we will never get better. We will never reach a point where we can say, all right, I did that. It was shitty of me, but I'm now doing a better job. And I'm now giving my dog the opportunity to trust me again. That's worth so much more. And if you want to see how you can get started with your dog, no matter if your dog's been with you a day, a week, a year, or his whole lifetime, watch this video.